So India is ready for the third World Cup match and it's against South Africa. Greetings of the day. I am Akush Kaushik and with me we have
Kashish Dhawan.
You are watching NewsX and we are here to talk about this exciting match between India and South Africa. Kashish, first of all, India is performing phenomenally. Two consecutive wins for India and now they're up against South Africa. How excited are you for the match?
I am super excited for the match, but the only thing that I'm worried about is India again going through that 2022 heartbreak. It's like those flashbacks coming again and again. I really don't want to see that. That was so horrifying.
The 2022 World Cup and that no ball controversy that happened and we lost that match against South Africa.
That was heartbreaking, I must say. But I think Team India is doing really well right now. Considering the last performance against Pakistan, but of course South Africa has been a good team.
South Africa is genuinely better than the Pakistani side because in women's cricket and women's World Cup, India have never lost to Pakistan. And in ODI World Cup men's also, we haven't lost to Pakistan. It's just one time we lost against Pakistan in a T20 World Cup. But let's not talk about Pakistan too much. That'll be a completely different discussion. But you talked about that 2022 incident that happened. I would like to remind the audience that what happened was it was a very close match and because of one no ball, India lost the match. But ever since that, 5 matches between India and South Africa and India have won all of them. So India is in a very strong position with youngsters coming in, youngsters picking up. Another thing I will talk about is that India was heavily dependent, Indian women's team was always heavily dependent on their top order batting. Smriti Mandhana, Harmanpreet Kaur, if they don't perform, the team did not used to score big. But this World Cup has had a different story.
We have seen that the middle order is performing.
Absolutely.
And even if the middle order is collapsing, we are seeing the performances from our bottom order also.
From our bottom order also, and I'll like to tell you what happened against the match of Pakistan. We scored 247 runs, where Pratika Rawal and Smriti Mandhana did give us a beautiful start. Both of them scored 9 boundaries together, 31 for Pratika and 23 for Smriti Mandhana. And then Harleen Deol, who is a new superstar for Indian batting, coming up at number 3. It also gives, that set of room because Harmanpreet Kaur, your captain and one of the best batsmen, gets to come down at number 4. So at number 3, you have someone like Harleen Deol who can play those big innings, can play those big shots because she scored a 6 against the match against Pakistan also, can bat at a strike rate of 70 and 80 and then consolidate your innings. What do you think about Harleen?
Harleen, I think she has been performing phenomenally.
Absolutely.
And she's an up and coming player. And the performance, I think the scale, I think the graph is going up with every match
That comes,
Yeah. So I have high hopes from her. And not just from her, from our bottom order especially.
From our bottom order especially, and what is the most phenomenal thing is that we now have Richa Ghosh at the bottom. You always wanted a finisher and it's a very common thing in men's cricket. But in women's cricket, you don't see those finishers, especially in India, because it's a little tricky to hit those many big shots out of the park. But Richa Ghosh batted with a strike rate of 175 against Pakistan, gave that clutch coming lower down the order and became one of the most important finishers for India. And it won't be wrong for us to say that she might play the role of Hardik Pandya that does in a men's team. Come at the end, finish the innings. So if you have good top order batsmen, you have good top 4 batsmen, both your openers are performing, you have Harleen who's performing, you have Harmanpreet, your captain obviously with the most amount of experience. Well, she hasn't performed yet. Both the matches she has failed. So let's talk.
Yeah, not just Harmanpreet. I think Smriti hasn't been giving that good of a performance because before the World Cup, these were the statements coming from almost all the country's captains. Like
Smriti Mandhana is the player to watch out for.
Get Smriti Mandhana out, and so far they are doing it.
So far they are doing it, and as they may say, Smriti Mandhana is the Virat Kohli of women's cricket. First of all, she's the national crush also, just like Virat Kohli, and obviously because of the game she has.
It comes with jersey number 18, I think.
Yeah, it comes with that.
Big matches, ODI matches, sometimes we are going to see major falls and then we're going to see...
But I don't think so. When we talk about a batsman's form, she is in form. They're just 2 matches and it's in this World Cup, and that big total hasn't come. But the way the ball is coming out of her her bat, she is in form. Just a while back, before the World Cup, there was an Australia series in India, and she scored 2 tons out of the 3 matches,
course,
and she was the man of the series.
Man of the series, yeah. First,
Even though India
player of the
lost,
series,
player of the series. Sorry, not man of the series. Apologies, player of the series. And just before the ODI World Cup, there was a series against Australia, and we lost that series.
Yeah.
Out of a losing cause, still Smriti Mandhana was the player of the series.
Player of the series again. So the only thing that I think right now is I'll personally compare it with Virat's performance and with number 18 jersey. So it happens. I personally think that it is something related to number 18. We have big performances, we have big matches like these ODI World Cup, T20 World Cup. First 2 matches, the performance is going to be like slow, and then you're going to see that big rise in the ground.
Yes, absolutely.
We've
she
seen
will
that
perform.
with Virat.
She will perform when it matters the most. But now I'll quickly tell you about the playing 11 for India and then for South Africa. Then we'll also discuss the points table, because India was at number 1. Now, even after winning 2 matches, they're at number 3. It's a round robin format where every team plays every team. So it's not very easy to become at the top 4, especially with Australia, England, South Africa, teams like this with strong performances.
Of course.
But let me first of all tell you what is going to be the playing 11. I don't think India is going to make any change. They're going to play with the same winning combination. They're going to open with Pratika Rawal, Smriti Mandhana. Number 3 is Harleen Deol. Number 4, captain herself, Harmanpreet Kaur. Then we have Jemima Rodriguez, who's been performing well, Deepti Sharma, then Sneh Rana, Richa Ghosh, Sri Charni, Kranti God, Renuka Singh will be the total lineup of India, and Kranti God.
So this is what I wanted to talk about. Kranti God, when you say her name, this is a talent.
Absolutely.
You look forward to.
Absolutely. You know what she did in the last match against Pakistan.
Bowler of the century, I would say personally.
Not the sense. It's a little too much of a hype because a little too much, but she is absolutely genius. At least, but we also not of the century, because it reminds me of Jhulan Goswami. Jhulan Goswami. She is the Indian legend. But Kranti God, what was her performance? 10 overs, 3 maidens, 3 wickets at the economy of just 2 runs per over. She only gave away 20 runs, completely destructed the Pakistani batting lineup, and she is the bowler to look out for. And whereas we were talking about Indian team, she is the bowler that will lead from the front. And apart from her, Deepti Sharma again picked up 3 wickets, and Sneh Rana as well. So these 3 will lead the bowling lineup. But don't forget about Renuka Singh. She did not pick up a wicket in the last match, but she bowled at only an economy of 2.9. So she was very economical. She couldn't get a wicket in the last match, but that doesn't define who she is. Now let's also talk about what will be the South African playing 11, and that's going to be very important, because the last match, South African women completely defeated New Zealand women. They bowled them out in 47 overs for 231, and then chased that down in the 41st over. With 9 overs to remain, they won the match. The playing 11 will be Laura Woolward. I hope that's how you pronounce it.
It's Laura
Woolward, she is the captain, but the player to watch out for will be Tazim Brits. Why am I saying that? She's a centurion from the last match. She scored a phenomenal century against New Zealand from 89 balls, 101 runs with a strike rate of 113, 15 boundaries and 1 6 in her innings. So she is absolutely fierce.
Someone to look out for.
She is definitely someone to look out for. And then you have Soon Lu. She also scored 83 runs. So their top 3 is very strong, but that is also the problem. South Africa is too much dependent on the top 3. See, the captain Laura, Tasmeen and Sun, they are the players that they are heavily dependent on, and if they do not score, then the batting might crumble, but they understand their responsibility. That's why, the top 3 always scores for them. So New Zealand, they beat New Zealand very convincingly, but before that, what happened against Australia?
God, that was a disaster. 69
all out. And that's exactly what I was telling you. If the top 3 doesn't perform, they collapse. If the top 3 performs, they can chase 234 in 40 overs. But if they don't perform, they collapse.
See, this actually reminds me of Team India. Recently, it happened with us also. Our top order collapsed, and I'm really trying to recall. It happened in one of the matches where our top order, we were heavily dependent on the top order.
Top order, yeah.
And once it collapsed, and we were just all gone.
There was a long time we
Yeah.
Indian team struggled to have that number 4. I remember that era of Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, and Shikhar Dhawan. The team was highly dependent on them. These 3 batsmen used to score, and we used to win every match like cakewalk. But if they collapsed, then in big matches the problem did occur. The problem did occur. So yeah, let's not go that road. That's a different topic altogether. But coming back to India versus South Africa today, I will also want you to look at the points table. But first, let me complete the playing 11.
Yeah.
Then you have Marizana Cap, who will be batting, Aneke Bosch, Sinalo Jafta, who will be the wicketkeeper. Then you have Chloe Tyrone, Nandine de Klerk, Masbata Klaas, Ayobonga Khaka, and Nonkuluku Malaba. It's a little difficult to pronounce all of these names, and I hope I've pronounced them correctly. But yes, their team is quite efficient, and their players have dominated New Zealand. They could not perform against Australia, but you should give them one chance. But that brings me again to the points table. Let me tell you what does the points table look like. Australia is at number 1 with 5 points, and what has happened? The match against Sri Lanka was washed out. So what happened is that they lost a point because of that. Because I was pretty sure that Australia would have beaten Sri Lanka. So Australia is at number 1 with 5 points in 3 matches. England is at number 2 with again 2 victories in 2 matches and a better run rate than India. Than India, yes. Better run rate than India. And India has played 2 matches, won both of them, but it was against Pakistan and against Sri Lanka. So not the top teams of the tournament.
Not the top teams that we had to compete
Yes,
against.
so if we win today, we are going to be number 1. We're going to go to the number 1 in the points table. And it's very important to beat bigger teams, because if you look at the points table, Pakistan is absolutely at the lowest. They've lost all 3 matches. So Pakistan is out of the picture and out of the tournament. That's what we think. New Zealand is also not a very strong team, lost both their matches. So Sri Lanka, New Zealand and Pakistan are out of the picture. But the top 5, Australia, England, India, Bangladesh and South Africa. So South Africa also has a good chance. They lost that match brutally against Australia. That's why you see them at number 5. But then they again redeemed themselves against New Zealand. So if South Africa wants to stay in the tournament, they need to beat India today. But if India wants to go to number 1 and make sure that they do reach the semi-finals, then it's a high time for them to perform and continue their form. And
consistency has to be maintained in all those matches, and we have to see that we are not just dependent on top order. All the batsmen have to perform. All the batsmen or the bowlers or the all-rounders have to be performing. But there's one thing, Akash, that I'm really worried about for today's match is it's predicted that it's going to rain today.
Oh yes, and it's Visakhapatnam. The match is going to happen in Visakhapatnam. It rains there, and if it rains heavily. So even the match might be called off if it rains. We will be there with you with all the updates, but there is a high chance of it raining today. And if it rains, it also brings me to our next part, that what will they do if we win the toss? So when it's a rainy season, when the rain is predicted, then the bowlers, the captain will always choose to bowl first. So that's why it's clear, win the toss, bowl first, chase down the target. And there's this reason because of Duckworth Lewis. If Duckworth Lewis comes into the picture, then some or the other time it is beneficial for the other team, because if the target is reduced, you have a different mindset, and that disadvantage comes into the picture while batting first. So if you bat first and score 250 runs in 50 overs, the Duckworth Lewis will, and if the match has to be cut down, then it will be very easy for the opposition. If it comes down to 20 overs, then the target will be 130, 140. So you're understanding how easy it becomes.
Yeah, it will be easier, and then they'll have a better understanding of the pitch over the time.
Absolutely.
Because then it will be easy to play on that pitch, because of course the weather conditions would be a little better, the ground will be more easy to play on, and the pitch, of course, it won't turn that much.
it won't turn that much. And Visakhapatnam's wicket is genuinely, a little sticky wicket, so that's why it might be helpful for India. But India has very strong chances this season, this year, after the last World Cup's heartbreak. This is time to redeem herself. Harmanpreet Kaur, the captain, would want to lift that trophy with the youngsters and experiences of players like Smriti Mandhana. So you have to watch the match and you have to watch NewsX just like this, and please stay tuned with us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.